Every generation has that one comedian, loud, controversial, and somehow still selling out shows while half the internet wants them banned. From legends turned villains to rising stars facing brutal backlash, this is the story of the most hated comedian from every era, Milton Berle. In the post-World War II boom of the 1940s, Milton Berle became the face of American comedy. Dubbed Mr. Television, he hosted Texaco's Star Theater, a show so popular it caused a spike in TV sales across the country. But here's the thing, too much of anything, even laughter, gets old.
You know, there's a switch, I can't get it down.
By the mid-1950s, comedians and critics alike were tired of Berle. He was accused of running stale routines, relying too heavily on slapstick, and most notoriously, stealing jokes.
Some old lady, she's about 88 years old, she was cute. 88. Wait till I tell it, for God's sake, please. And no, it's not a joke, it's true. She was 88, she walked over to me, she looked at me, she said, "Hello, Uncle Milty." She says, "I love you." She says, "You know, I've been watching you ever since I was a little girl." I said, "Get the hell out of here."
Comedian Jack Benny allegedly said, "Berle has an original joke. Somewhere, probably." Behind the scenes, Berle was known for his giant ego and controlling behavior on set. Once hailed as the king of TV comedy, he quickly became seen as a relic, outdated, overexposed, and out of touch. Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman didn't want to be a comedian. He wanted to be something else. Something confusing, something chaotic. In the 1970s, audiences expected punchlines. But Kaufman gave them silence, discomfort, and characters that often didn't even try to be funny.
Could I have my jeans? Thank you.
He lip-synced Elvis. He wrestled women. He read books out loud. And most controversially, he refused to explain himself. Some peers admired him. Jim Carrey even said Andy changed the way he viewed performance. But others saw him as an attention-hungry nuisance who abused the stage. By the time of his untimely death in 1984, he had as many haters as fans. And even now, debates rage over whether he was brilliant or simply unbearable.
You know, one thing I don't like is too much traffic. You know, tonight I had to come here. I was on the highway, and it was so much traffic, it took me an hour and a half to get here.
Andrew Dice Clay. The 1980s were loud, excessive, and dripping with attitude. So was Andrew Dice Clay. But when Dice dropped the mic, half the room cheered, and the other half wanted him banned. He built his act around a hyper-masculine persona.
Say hello to Andrew Dice Clay. Okay, here we go now. Hey, Andrew. Hey. All right.
Spouting obscene jokes and raunchy rhymes that skewered women, minorities, and anyone within earshot. Feminist groups protested. News outlets condemned him. In 1990, Clay became the first performer to be banned for life from MTV after a profanity-laced live performance. Even within the industry, backlash boiled over. Nora Dunn refused to appear on Saturday Night Live with him, and musical guest Sinead O'Connor pulled out entirely. Dice later claimed he was playing a character, but to many, the damage was done. He wasn't just hated, he was feared for what he represented in comedy and culture alike.
The only thing I like about cops is the mirrored glasses. This way I could comb my hair as I write out the ticket, so it ain't that bad. I don't see too many faggots in Philly, you know? Out in L.A., Manhattan, you got them all over the place. Brooklyn, we don't have any gay people. They're all dead.
By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and there's a lot more coming up. Now moving on to our next on the list, Carrot Top. If Andrew Dice Clay was too edgy, Carrot Top was the opposite. Loud, weird, and overwhelmingly corny.
And here's a hanger for a blind person. So y'all are hip, man. People, you need to boo at this. It's not mean. I'm helping the guy out. What the hell? No, it's not mean. I'm helping the guy out.
In the 1990s, Scott Thompson, better known as Carrot Top, toured the country with a box of props and a hurricane of energy. But despite his sold-out shows and million-dollar Vegas deals, the public reaction was brutal. He was mocked by late-night hosts, roasted by fellow comedians, labeled a hack by comedy purists. One critic even called him Gallagher without the watermelons and without the charm. And yet, he never really went away. Through the hate and humiliation, Carrot Top built a decades-long career. And today, he's a cult figure, respected for his hustle even if his jokes still make people groan.
Hey everybody, it's Carrot Top. I'm gonna be in New Buffalo on May 21st. That's right, New Buffalo. Not Old Buffalo, New Buffalo.
Dane Cook. In the early 2000s, Dane Cook was comedy. He sold out arenas, he broke records, he dominated MySpace like a digital god. But within a few short years, he went from rock star to running joke. Cook's style was loud, physical, and emotional.
See canoodling, I can see canoodling right there. The way you guys are holding on to each other, boom, right there. There's something, yeah, dude, that's really beautiful. Look at you, like a koala, just holding on to her so tight. Yeah, you know that all koalas have chlamydia? That's true. Yeah, don't touch them. They're adorable, but they're little diseased f***s. But you look like koalas the way you're doing that.
He acted out stories with exaggerated faces, wild movements, and long tangents. His fans? Obsessed. His critics? Furious. Accusations of plagiarism surfaced. Louis C.K. claimed Cook stole some of his best bits. Comedy nerds argued Cook's material lacked substance, calling him a frat bro comedian who relied on noise, not wit.
I had 5 sisters, okay? 5, yeah. I used to wear a tampon just to fit in, okay? Swear to God. Here comes Peter Cottontail.
The backlash was swift. In a few short years, Cook went from Time magazine's face of comedy to a cautionary tale about style over substance. He's since admitted the fame got to his head. He still performs, but the comedy world never fully welcomed him back. Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer exploded onto the scene in the early 2010, sharp, raunchy, and unapologetic. Her Comedy Central show, Inside Amy Schumer, was a viral sensation. Her stand-up specials sold out. Her movie Trainwreck was a hit, but the public honeymoon didn't last. Soon, she was accused of repeating the same sex jokes.
We work so hard to look so pretty for men, but like, you guys are disgusting. One of your biggest goals is to put your penises in our buttholes.
Accused of stealing jokes from up-and-coming comics. Accused of punching down. And when her Netflix special, The Leather Special, was released in 2017, it was slaughtered with 1-star reviews. Amy claimed it was a coordinated attack from internet trolls and alt-right groups, but even some fans started jumping ship. She's since tried to pivot, taking on more serious roles and producing, but for many, she's a symbol of how fame can turn to infamy in the digital age. Hasan Minhaj. Hasan Minhaj earned praise for Patriot Act, blending comedy with deep political storytelling. He was smart, stylish, and sharp. His monologues tackled racism, politics, tech, and got millions thinking. But in 2023, that perfect image shattered.
Critics are raising questions about Hasan Minhaj and whether he and other comedians should be more truthful with their materials. Minhaj's act often includes experiences that he says he's faced as an Asian American and Muslim American. But the comedian tells The New Yorker many of those stories either didn't happen to him or they were embellished.
A New Yorker article revealed Minhaj had fabricated or exaggerated major parts of his stories, including racist encounters and threats against his family. He defended it as emotional truth, a common phrase in stand-up.
To anyone who felt betrayed or hurt by my stand-up, I am sorry. I made artistic choices to express myself and drive home larger issues affecting me and my community, and I feel horrible that I let people down.
But fans felt betrayed. Critics accused him of manipulating trauma for applause. In a culture obsessed with authenticity, even slight exaggerations turned fatal. As of now, Minhaj's career is in limbo. He's not canceled, but the trust, it's broken. From Burle to Minhaj, one truth remains. Comedy is fragile. One bad punchline, one wrong word, one lie too many, and the world turns on you. Some of these comedians bounced back, some didn't. But whether loved or loathed, they reflect the tension between humor, fame, and public judgment. Because the line between funny and hated is razor thin. Who do you think got too much hate? Who really deserved it? And who's next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and remember, comedy is no laughing matter.